who would not cheat on someone like you? Do you look at yourself and look at me? If you were me, wouldn't you cheat on you? Open betrayal. I've ever even heard men say, that lady is so proud. She just needs a smart man to drive the pepe inside her. Who among us will go? Who will go for us? And deceive this small girl, this proud girl. We must shatter her. That's this guy's betrayal.
Think about what it means to trust someone, to show someone your vulnerabilities, to lower your defenses down, and to even allow this person to see you for who you truly are, in the hopes that this person will handle these parts of you with care and also hold your pain gently. But instead, this person uses your vulnerabilities to break you. They even use the words you shared in confidence to win an argument. And they go further to throw back your insecurities, your trauma, and your fears back at you. These are the words of Professor Jordan Peterson. And as we continue with this show, I want you to think about them carefully because they will offer a guidance on what we shall be talking about today. I will be your host, KateruiruT, and in studio, I am joined by Dr. Steve Degwa, who will help us to understand this broad topic about betrayal. Thank you so much, Dr. for joining us. Kindly say hi to the people as you introduce to us. Give us an overview of what betrayal is.
Wow, thank you very much, T&T. Thank you, Kate. Today we have a very powerful and wonderful topic, betrayal. And I want to believe, Kate, even before I tell them hi, everyone has encountered betrayal, if not directly, indirectly. But I want to believe everybody who is watching us has come across betrayal in their lives. And as we continue with this topic, they will be able to see themselves somewhere. I am Degwa Steve, counselor and therapist. Hi, how are you, our viewers? You asked me to explain.
Yes, give us an
overview of betrayal. Yeah, I see betrayal as a violation of trust and confidence in relationships, whether romantic or platonic friendships. Think of someone, you have entrusted someone, you have trusted someone with your words, you have trusted someone with your body in marriage, you have trusted someone with your money, anywhere, workplace, family, relationships of all kinds. You have trusted someone with your secrets. You have trusted someone with your properties and any other thing that belongs to you. You have trusted someone with your emotions. And then at the end of the day, you come to realize that they have been taking advantage of you. And actually, they have crucified you. They have exposed you. You feel shattered. That's what betrayal means. Anything that someone does that draws you to a confusion and a shattered trust, where you feel like, why was I so vulnerable? Why did I expose myself that much to this person? Why on earth did I allow them to know me the way they do? Because they have used what they know to put me on the cross. And then they start watching as if they have done nothing. Yet they are the ones responsible fully for the damage that has happened in my life. So that's what we mean by betrayal.
Wow. So from what I'm getting, there are different ways that a person can be betrayed, either by a marriage partner, by a close friend, by a colleague. So what are the forms by which betrayal can manifest?
Well, very important to understand the forms of betrayal. And I want to begin with one very main and common form of betrayal. Number one is infidelity, where you have trusted someone with your body and emotions in romantic relationships and marriage. And then you come to learn later that they have been sharing their love and romance with someone else. Yet, according to your agreement from the day you met, is that you are the only one. So someone else has been sharing with you, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. So that is one major form of betrayal. And I would say infidelity has many forms. There is the romantic infidelity or the sexual infidelity where someone in marriage sleeps with someone else outside. Yeah, so they have betrayed you. That's infidelity. There's also financial infidelity where someone hides their financial details. They have financial transactions which you know not about. They have loans which you have no idea about. Then you come to learn later when auctioneers come. They're auctioning you and you have no idea that your husband or your wife is being auctioned. So you're betrayed. Also, there is a social infidelity where someone exposes you, bad mouths you to other people, and you come to learn that they have been speaking ill of you when you have been taking them to be the closest people you have trusted with your information. There's also the emotional infidelity. Someone can't tell you or text you, I love you, I miss you in marriage, but they are telling someone else. So emotionally, they have betrayed you because they are sharing intimate emotional experiences with someone else rather than with you.
And I think that is where, most people maybe go wrong, because you'll find a person saying, like, I did not sleep with another person, because the only form of betrayal that is so apparent is when a person sleeps with another person outside your vows, outside your agreement. So what I'm understanding is that even without that person having to do the act, just by the thought of doing the act, investing emotionally into the thought of the act they supposedly want to do, that is another form of betrayal.
Yeah, emotional entanglements are a form of infidelity. Emotional infidelity actually is an enough basis to call it off, because marriage is about the emotional connection. Love is about emotional connection. So when you're sharing your emotions, the intimate emotions with someone else apart from me whom you are married to, you have already betrayed me. Now, there are other forms of betrayal apart from infidelity, like dishonesty, a lying tongue, someone who cannot speak the truth. They have been always lying. How do you feel when you realize that the information someone has been giving you or they gave you is a total lie? There are people who are serial liars. Others look like they were born liars. They were born to lie. Their mission on this earth is to lie.
Yeah.
There are people who just can't speak the truth. Also, dishonesty is a level or a form of betrayal. You lied to me because I was talking with your mother yesterday, and the information she gave me is totally different from what you told me. You told me that you sent your mother 10,000 because the cow was sick. But your mother was thanking me in turn, telling me, oh, thank you, my girl. Your husband told me you talked. He sent me 70K, to finish the roofing of our new house. So you are like, why did you lie to me? Why didn't you just tell me? I supported my mother with 70K to finish on the roofing. Do you think I would have a problem with you supporting your mother? What was the essence of lying to me? You have betrayed me because I was wondering what to tell mother. Mixed emotions. Whether to tell her, welcome, mom, we love you. Or to tell her, I had no idea about this.
Yeah.
Thank God I did not betray you in turn, because I would have told her. He lied to you. We didn't agree with him. He told me he sent you 10K. So I did not go ahead and betray you. Why did you? So that is another level of betrayal. There is another form of betrayal, Kate, called emotional abandonment. Or let's not even say emotional abandonment. Let's say abandonment. Like there are so many people who are watching us who are betrayed by their parents when they were young. Either your mother or your father. They withdrew their support. They ran away when you needed them most to pay for your school fees, to buy you food, uniform. Especially that happens with us, fathers, more than with mothers. Mothers are left raising their children. Fathers disappear when they are needed most by their children. Even that happens also in friendships, in companies. A friend, you have been with a friend. You have been helping them, supporting them, working with them. But when you are in need, they run away, they mute, they blue tick you. That is betrayal. So that is another form of the betrayal. Yeah, so there are so many forms of betrayal that go in that line. And also you realize that in different contexts, we have different forms of betrayal. Those are just few examples. Yeah.
And I feel that the problem with dishonesty is that, like, when you come and lie to me, Steve, you want me to see the world in your view.
Yes, yes.
You want to control what I see. You want to control how I feel because you're telling me half truths instead of telling me the whole truth so that I can make up my belief, I can make up my truth. I think that is the worst thing about lying and dishonesty.
Yeah, and actually, why does lying and dishonesty become so painful? Why does? It's because the person who is lied to feels taken advantage of. In our language, in our local language, we say, "Kongua wana." You are carrying me, oh baby.
Yeah.
So when you lie to me, when you lie to someone, and then they come to learn that you lied to them, they feel like you are taking them for a child, taking them for a primitive person, a fool. Why did you take me for a fool? Why did you just speak the truth? And then they're like, next time I'll speak the truth. But when the dishonesty continues to repeat itself, betrayal begins to rise, and it may reach a point of feeling that I need to put clear boundaries between me and this person. Yes, yes.
And I wonder what really goes on in the mind of a betrayer. Like, for example, when a husband decides to maybe betray their woman through infidelity and they go on cheating in the relationship, what goes on behind their mind? Is it that, hey, this woman is so foolish, she can never, find out, or I'm too smart? Is it because I am too smart or the woman is foolish? What is the motivation behind a betrayer?
Actually, sometimes it could be even none of the two. The one betrayed being foolish, or the one betraying the other being smart. One thing, it could be an issue with their integrity. That person just has issues with integrity. They don't have integrity. They have no morals. So that could make someone be a betrayer and have no problem with lying to you, have no problem deceiving you, have no problem cheating on you. Also, it could be an element of selfishness. There are people who are selfish, self-centered. They have a bulged sense of self-importance, which they always want to protect. So they can do anything that favors them. It doesn't matter who it inconveniences. So it can just be an issue of selfishness. Also, others would be intentional. They are just malicious. There are people in life who are just jealous and malicious. So there's something I remember. We talk about sadomasochism, masochism. Those are people who can inflict pain on others. And when they do that, they feel good. Emotionally, they feel good when others are hurting. I don't know whether you have ever read the story of Hitler, the German dictator. He used to hurt people and do evil things. And it's like, that's what... Yeah, it gives them meaning of life. They are fulfilling their purpose. To hurt others, to make others cry, they feel good. So, and so many other things, maybe personality disorders, like narcissism, histrionic personality disorder.
So when you say disorder, do you mean that this person cannot help but betray?
No. If you have a disorder, it's upon you to work on it, because there are so many people who have been left, or they have been dumped by their lovers because they are not able to overcome their personality disorders. It's upon you to work on your disorder, because if you don't, you are going to lose important people in your life. So you cannot blame it on people or say that you should understand me. I have this disorder. Okay, we are going to understand you, but we are going to draw boundaries. Yeah, just stay alone. We understand you. Just stay alone. You are not supposed to be with people because you are not ready to work on your shortcomings. Disorders doesn't mean that you cannot work on it. Even in the case of narcissism, narcissists should know that they are narcissists and start working on it, and there should be notable improvement. Consistent observed positive change by their partners.
Okay. All right. So I understand that betrayal sometimes is not obvious. It doesn't happen in the most obvious ways.
Yes.
Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's gradual, insidious. So how does betrayal come about? Maybe you can give us the two scenarios where it is an open form of the betrayal and sometimes where it's disguised. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much. You have brought the aspect of this aspect of disguised betrayal and open betrayal. Disguised betrayal, as the term suggests, is where someone will intentionally hide the real agenda that they have, which is a bad agenda, but they will wear another face. They will sugarcoat themselves. And then they will come as a totally different person. Let me give an example, actually, from the Bible. Judas came kissing Jesus. Rabbi. How are you, Rabbi? And thank God, because Jesus had the Spirit of God. And he goes on. Do what you came to do. Yeah. Because, Judas is coming as a friend. We don't kiss enemies. We kiss friends.
I think that is the saddest thing about betrayal. You're not betrayed by the people who are far. The people who betray you are actually the people who are closest to you.
In actual fact, the Bible records Jesus telling his disciples, I think John 6:70, verse 70. If not John 6, John 5, but the verse is verse 70. Jesus tells the disciples, did I not choose you 12 of you? But one of you is a devil. You are betrayed by people who are around you, actually. Just you imagine Jesus being God, having 12 close friends. One of them was a traitor. How much more will you have traitors around you as a human being? And the way we are weak. Actually, they have grounds on betraying us and becoming traitors because we are not perfect. So it's that serious that betrayal is around us, is with us. You can be with people, you think they are for you, but they are not for you. So disguised betrayal is where someone will wear a different face, but they mean evil against you. So you will welcome them because of their words, actions. Sometimes they can even do good things and, they can buy you gifts, they can take you out, they can praise you in front of people, they can make people love you, and people esteem you highly, but they have the final agenda. Fight ya mwisho. After elevating you and making people fear you, revere you, then they come with a story. You think this man is the way you see him? This is what he did. And this. And this. Now they start exposing. They damage you. They finish you. It has happened even in politics. I will not cite examples because, they may not be actually accurate, but not only in Kenya, everywhere. Yeah, someone will, maybe a president or someone who is a senior in a particular organization or parastatal, they will pick someone, they will give them a big responsibility, and then they have an agenda. Out of that, they create a conspiracy against this person. They create a story or they trap them, so that they enter into maybe a corrupt deal, and then later they expose them. So now the full agenda is realized later. Then this person who has been betrayed reaches to a point of, the insight. Oh, so that's why he has been doing all this to me. To blackmail me, to blindfold me so that I do not see what is on the way coming. I took myself to the slaughterhouse.
I also have another example. I don't know whether it fits well with disguised betrayal.
Yes.
Something that has happened several times, where you find a man will date a woman, date them, show them love, what, until they get them pregnant. They're nowhere to be found.
Yeah, actually, that's disguised betrayal. Actually, I have ever even heard men say, that lady is so proud. She thinks
will humble
she
her."
thinks of herself so highly. I have a medicine for her to bring her down. She just needs a smart man to drive the baby inside her. She will never be proud at us anymore. I know she can't accept to marry any of us. Who among us will go? Will go out? Who will go for us? And deceive this small girl, this proud girl. We must shut her down, you know? So that's this guy's betrayal. Open betrayal is where sometimes it's even public. Someone badmouths you, speaks against you, you know, does things even in front of your eyes. They are not hiding. A husband, a wife is cheating on you. Sometimes they even ask you, who would not cheat on someone like you? Who would not cheat on someone like you? Do you look at yourself and look at me? If you were me, wouldn't you cheat on you? Open betrayal. They're not hiding. You go to a family meeting where now you are discussing disputes in your marriage or relationship. And then your wife or your girlfriend or your husband tells the parents, do you see this foolish person I married? He does this and this and this. You think that I have been in a very happy marriage. But you know very well what they are saying is not true, or they are exaggerating, because every marriage has issues. But they have betrayed you in front of your people. So that's open. They're not hiding.
And I think that begs the question. I understand disguised betrayal where someone maybe has something to protect. But how do we get to a point where I can humiliate you in public, I can insult you and ridicule you in public without, the fear of maybe you leave, or how does it get there?
Disrespect. You have completely disrespected this person. You no longer respect them for whatever reasons. Maybe because they got so vulnerable with you or in you or at you, you know. They became so vulnerable, desperate. They have proved to be desperate. So even to wait until that moment, you're going to blast them in public. If you see someone blasting another one in public, they have completely lost respect for them. Yes.
So the person being betrayed in this way has also played a role.
Yeah, in some cases, they might have played a role, and in other cases, it's not guaranteed that they have played a role. Let me tell you, there are people who are evil people, who can stand in front of people confidently and speak lies against you and make people hate you when you have done completely nothing. Let me ask you, have you ever read of the story of how Jesus was crucified? It was not done in secret. They were saying in front of this man is a blasphemer. And everybody was convinced, and they said, crucify him. But Jesus had done nothing wrong. Okay? So it is not given that if someone blasts you in public, you have played a role in it. And even sometimes these things are spiritual. There are people who are betrayed. Before you realize that you are being squared from the realm of the spirit, you'll be down.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is important also to see our lives from the lens, from the spiritual lens, because we are spiritual beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, because betrayal may have been stage managed back from the spiritual realm. So you find yourself at the end of the day, your life is shattered. You try to rise again, no way. Because some people saw your star before you saw it.
Yeah.
So they come and bring it down. Today we are talking, Kate. There are so many people who cannot now stand in front of people, even on social media. They can't say anything because their lives were laid naked by people who were purposely out to finish them. And they managed. The agenda and the mission was complete. There are people today, they had great names, but today they cannot stand. They cannot say anything in front of people because they were betrayed.
I think that is the worst form of betrayal, where you insult someone's personality, someone's integrity, someone's values, someone's dignity and self-esteem, self-confidence. You strip them of everything that they have believed in.
Yes. I have seen cases as a counselor. I have seen cases of where a man cannot say anything in their own home. Their sisters and brothers and father and mother, they cannot listen to them because of what the wife he married said to them. Yet, the wife exaggerated everything. But because she had already laid a good foundation and she had been working on it, making your family love her, believe her, see her as an angel, and then she comes with the final blow. This son of yours. And then she spills the beans and adds salt, even pepper, vinegar, and alcohol,
And chili.
and manga. They add it there. So even your mother herself cannot listen to you. There are people who are in that condition. They were betrayed, and then that wife or woman runs away. And then they call you and tell you, now let us see you rising again.
Wow. I know, Doctor, you have had first-hand experience of people who have come to you with such problems. And I want to hear from you, from what you've observed and from what you've read, what have you seen as the impact of betrayal?
Wow. Let me tell you, Kate, betrayal has even caused people to commit suicide. You can't imagine continuing with life with that kind of exposure of your bad side in public. Let's look at an example. Do you remember Ngonga from Equatorial Guinea? Let's use the examples we have. Come on.
Yeah.
Did you see one woman committing suicide? Why did she commit suicide? Because of betrayal. Who leaked these videos? You mean you took a video of us doing it, only to share it in public? The whole world has seen me with you. She could not face the future. She decided to call it off and cut off her life. What comes in the mind? What are the impacts of betrayal, psychological impacts? One of them is emotional pain. Emotional pain can be seen in many forms. Anger, bitterness, anxiety. There's a pain that comes in your chest. You feel real pain. You can't sleep. You even have to take medicines for that pain to go, because there is real emotional pain. Outbursts and anger, bitterness, name them, which can even cause people, or has caused people to even do very dangerous things. Other things are, like I've said, anxiety, stress, depression. Betrayal can send you into depression. My husband, the man I loved, I have made everybody think he is an angel. My wife, I married my wife. She has been good. I have protected her. I have believed in her. I've made people think she is an angel. But she has done this to me. I'm shattered. I can never stand in front of people. I had one pastor say, the pastor said, I stayed for 6 months without standing in the altar to preach. And it's like I had decided I'll never preach again. Why? My daughter betrayed me. I had been teaching people about purity, respecting parents, honoring God with their bodies. But my daughter got into alcoholism, prostitution, pastor's daughter. He said it in public. That's why I'm sharing it here. It was not in confidence. And then he was like, I felt I can never stand in the altar. And because the people he was sharing with knew the story, everybody in the church was crying. And then he said, but I prayed to God, and God restored the life of my daughter. Even if she came with, of course, children and all that. Children are good, I love them. But I felt that my daughter betrayed me. You see? So he got into depression. The pastor could not even go to church. His life stopped. He could not continue with his daily and normal life of preaching and sharing the word. So you see, betrayal can send you into an unproductive life, And if you're not careful, you may never resume your normal role because you feel nobody can believe you. You have been telling us that it is possible for youth to be pure and chaste, but your daughter is even terrible.
Why haven't you started that gospel in your
Start with your house. You need to streamline your daughter first before you come to shout to us. Purity, purity, purity. Where is your daughter?
That happens for you.
It's betrayal. So there are so many psychological impacts. Like, for example, loss of trust. Can I tell you, Kate? There are so many people watching us here now, right now, who can never ever, who have vowed to their self, to their inner selves, to their bodies, to their minds, that they will never ever date again. And they will never ever get married again. Why? Betrayal. They can never trust anyone. Let me tell you, Kate, the greatest and the strongest foundation of relationships is trust. Unfortunately, what betrayal does is breaking trust. The cycle is like this, or the equation is like this. When infidelity brings about betrayal. Betrayal breaks trust. And we said infidelity, kuna financial, social, sexual, all of those things where you feel someone has become infidel or unfaithful to you. You shared information to them, but they never. Actually, when we were talking about forms of betrayal, we forgot to talk about failed promises. Okay, and also compromise of confidence, where you shared confidential information with someone, but they leaked the information and shared with someone else. Okay, so all those things have happened, and now you are here. Okay, so you find that it shatters your life, and you are not able to move on anymore. So I think maybe you got a question on that.
Yeah, I want to understand. Earlier on, you said that another form of betrayal is when a partner deprives you of affection. They cannot tell you they love you, or show you affection or be vulnerable to you. What happens when you choose to stay with a person who constantly betrays you in that way?
Now, actually, the question you have asked is very good, and it's very good we look at it. You have said, what happens if you continue living with someone who is repeatedly betraying you? That is very dangerous. Because someone can betray you once, though it depends with the form of betrayal, and you still choose to forgive them. Though it is not always easy, but if someone has been constantly, repeatedly betraying you, I would advise, do not continue with that relationship. Why? You have given them the license to continue betraying you, so you must be ready that it will continue. You are going to be taken advantage of. And also another danger is that even your people, your friends and your family can lose trust with you because of continuing to stay in a toxic relationship. They have been telling you, Kate, our daughter, We did not chase you away from this home. You come crying every time, telling us how this person has treated you badly, mistreating you and betraying you every other time. Why are you continuing to stay there? So you make even your people to be resentful against you. And they tell you, don't talk to us anymore.
Yeah. And I think the reason a person would still go back to someone who constantly betrays them is because of what we were talking about in the previous episode, attachment wounds and unhealthy attachment style. Or maybe someone has, stripped you of your confidence. You don't believe that you're worthy of something good, or you don't even believe that you deserve a good relationship, a happy relationship, or something even stable, or to be even told that you're loved and shown affection.
Actually, if you have codependency issues and you have issues with attachments, you have attachment styles that are unhealthy, you know what betrayal does? It makes even you doubt your worth and question your importance. How come I did not see this coming? Why did it happen to me? Why did this person choose to do this to me? So if you have codependence issues and issues with your esteem and validation, you may be deceived to continue staying in the relationship. I really want to be a better person so that they don't do that again to me. So that's how you can still find yourself remaining in a betrayal scenario or with someone who has been a traitor to you.
Is this what we call self-betrayal?
Actually, it is a form of self-betrayal because self-betrayal is where you compromise your own values, your own boundaries, your own beliefs, your own faith. You compromise your esteem so that someone else may be happy, to make someone else happy. People pleasing. That's what we call self-betrayal. So when you continue to remain in that relationship or marriage or friendship or whatever with someone who has been constantly betraying you, then you are betraying yourself. That is self-betrayal. Sometimes you feel in your heart that I so strongly believe that these are my values. These are my boundaries. But because I love this person so much, I can bend my values a little bit. I can allow them to have me in the way they want to have me. Yet you know that nobody should cross those lines. So when you do anything to please someone, yet it is against your values, that is self-betrayal. But there are people who are very good at refusing to betray themselves. They say, as it doesn't matter what, I will not do what you are asking me.
Yeah.
Then they will be told, then if you don't do it, to hell with you. I cannot continue with you. Then they will be like, well and good. I better lose you, but not lose my integrity. I value my integrity more than you.
Yeah. And the problem with staying with someone who wants to betray you or who has the intention of betraying you is that they will distort your reality, and then you will end up losing your sense of self.
Yes. You're going to lose your sense of self, and you will begin now living someone else's life instead of living your life or who you are. So you have to continue with that now because you have started it and you have allowed it. You have opened that door. So if you continue walking in it, that means the rest of your life you'll be doing what they want and to please them and not your life. You have lost yourself. Awareness, your sense of self, and you have lost your identity. You no longer are yourself, but you are living that person's life. We are not saying that you cannot tolerate betrayal, or not really tolerating, you cannot forgive betrayal, but repeated betrayal with arrogance is already a deal breaker.
Okay, so as we are coming to a close, maybe Dr. you can give us a context of different scenarios of betrayal.
Okay. Now, betrayal in different contexts. For example, in family dynamics. Like when parents don't balance discipline, they punish some children more than others. When it comes to, for example, sharing of inheritance, they favor some children and leave the others out. When it comes to rewards, they praise and reward some children more than they do to others. So parents can also play a role in betraying you as a child. And as I said earlier, also, if your parents abandon you when you need them, that is also betrayal, especially if you are under 18, because you're supposed to be under the care of your parents. And even if you are over 18, and that one happened when you are a child, and that betrayal was not dealt with properly, it will continue to influence your relationship with them and even your life. Yes, also there is betrayal in the workplaces, like favoritism, you know, and even setting traps for each other, you know, setups at workplaces so that you may lose the job, dishonesty at workplaces, you see, even corruption at workplaces, where you are supposed to go for a trip, but someone else tells the boss or the person organizing, remove her name. Let's put my girlfriend's name. So you don't go for the trip, so you don't receive the stipend. Someone else receives it, but you are the one initially in the list. So betrayal is everywhere. Yeah.
Wow.
And when you come to learn of it, you feel so heartbroken. Anger, bitterness, and you are tempted to think of revenge. We shall come to that in the next.
And yeah, I think in the next session we should add to betrayal trauma, because especially with children, I think that is where betrayal trauma really, you know, creeps in, and then it dictates what you become and how you handle people and relationships in your adult life. So we shall add to the list for the next episode. But before we leave, tell us, what should we do with the people who have betrayed us?
Now, what to do with the person who has betrayed you? Sometimes it's a very complex thing and equation. Because think of someone who has betrayed you, they have cheated on you, they have used your money in the wrong way, you gave them money. Like there are people who are in the Gulf and they are watching us. You sent your parents money to build you a house or to build their house. And then later you realize that your pesa, they ate the money, they used the money in a what do we call it, gambling or something like that. And then when you come back, there's no house, there's no cow, there's nothing. You ask of your money, and then they tell you, we gave birth to you. You're asking us for money. First pay for the milk we breastfed you before you ask for your money. So how do you deal with those people? If they cannot admit that they have wronged you, it becomes so difficult to deal with the betrayer. So before you think of how to deal with the betrayer, think of how to deal with the emotions that you already have. If it is anger, bitterness, you think like you can kill you feel like you can kill someone, first deal with yourself. So that when you are approaching the betrayer, now that you don't know how they are going to respond, you will be safe. At least you have prepared yourself emotionally. You're not going to act madly. You will not strangle someone. You will not choke someone. You will not do something like that.
Yeah, because betrayal can really stir up, you know, violence and emotions that are just wild. Because you've heard of cases where mtu tu alishtuka ananyonga mtu. Na hata hakuwa anajua ati alikuwa anamnyonga, alishtuka tu huyo mtu amekufa.
Yeah. So before you think of how the betrayer will, what you to do with the betrayer, set yourself ready. For example, ready even to forgive. We shall come to forgiveness next episode, and we see why it is important to forgive the betrayer.
But do you think all betrayals should be forgiven though?
Forgiveness is a personal choice. It's a personal choice. But we should not confuse forgiveness and reconciliation. We shall pick on that because it's a huge topic on the next.
Okay, and Steve, before we go, do you think people really change? Because like when you're going to deal with that betrayer, atakwambia, oh, sorry, that was the last time, I will never do that again. And then after 2 weeks, they're back again. So do you think people really change when they tell you that they have changed? Or is it possible for human beings to change?
Yeah, I will say this. It is important to look at what form of betrayal was it. Because there are some betrayals you can give people 3 last chances. But there are others you cannot even the first one, the one that has happened, it becomes hard for you to forgive. One husband killed the child of his girlfriend. Now, do you expect now that the husband has come and told the girlfriend, the man has come and told his wife, oh, I will not kill another one, forgive me. But when it comes to cheating, maybe you can think and say, I think he is remorseful or she is remorseful. I can forgive and continue. On the part of can people change? It is not upon you if they will change or not, but people do change. There are people who change, there are others who don't change. So the most important thing is to look at yourself and see what can you do with what you are feeling, because they might change or not. But if someone has been repeatedly betraying you, most likely they will never change. So make sure you plan yourself, plan your future, and know what to do with that information. That this person may never change. Know what to do with that. You have been with a person now 15 years down the line, 20 years down the line. They have been keeping very serious and big financial secrets and details to themselves. You only come to realize later. It is 20 years down the line. They might never change. So you need to know where to draw boundaries. And for you to be able to walk your life with freedom.
Yeah, and I think that is why it's important that you watch our previous episodes, because we have talked about boundaries and why they are important. And I'm hearing that they are also important in knowing what to take and what not to take, what to forgive and what not to forgive when you have been betrayed. And there is no way you can know that if you do not know what your boundaries are, if you do not know what your values and standards are in relationships. So that is it for today. Daktari, maybe you can ambia watu bye-bye, wacha nisikulenge. You can ambia watu kwaheri as we wind up the show.
Yeah, I have been asked to tell you kwaheri or bye-bye. And that is exactly what I am doing. Can I tell you bye-bye? We are going to meet in the next session or episode. Kindly be with us. I am Degwa Steve, therapist, and I love you.
Wow, it's always a pleasure to have you in the show. Thank you so much. You are always a wonderful, amazing guest, and I'm sure even the audience love you.
Wow.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. We shall see you in the next episode. We shall continue with the part 2 of betrayal. You can send in any questions that you have, and you can also comment below what you have learned today, or even the questions that you would like us to address in the next episode. That is it for today. I was your host, KateruiruT&T, and this is This and That. See ya. Bye.